Hello YouTube! This is Wendy from Language-Enthusiast because I am a language enthusiast myself. I'm currently learning 2 languages, English and Spanish. Okay, I'm interested in language learning very much, but the problem is that language learning takes time, so I should be very smart to manage my time and energy. Okay, and this is the place where I speak whatever I want. So, and I'm not making my videos currently to entertain people. So, I'm sorry if this video is boring to you because I really want to practice my speaking so that I get used to speaking itself in the first place, so that English has become my second nature. Okay, English has become, no, I don't think this tense is not right? So that English becomes second nature. I think this is more correct, right? Okay, anyway, I have 2 dogs lying on the floor, but you cannot see them, right? From this angle, right? Okay, anyway, so I was sleepy until a little while ago. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Like, I went to sleep just after midnight, and until then, I was watching the latest video of this YouTuber called Connor. Someone I always talk about in my videos, and I'm now his member, okay, channel member, and he uploaded his latest video last night at around 10 or so, and his video is usually very long because he gives a lecture. He deals with a story, a very famous one, and explains what the story is all about, and he also explains all the vocabulary, and he also explains all the things related to the vocabulary so that we can expand our vocabulary. And his lesson is very unique. I find his lesson very unique. His lessons are very unique because when I listen to his lessons, I feel like as if I were in a classroom in an English-speaking country. I've never been abroad and I've never been in such a situation myself, but probably, yeah, if I were one of the students at the school, like elementary school or junior high, I'm not sure, and I was in the classroom and teacher probably would teach us that way, using a blackboard or whatever, okay? And I always wanted to do something like this, okay? Because I was always in the Japanese school, right? Of course, because I was born and raised here in Japan, and but I don't know what to say. Yeah, I didn't get any experience, English speaking experiences. I don't know how to say this. I've never experienced real life. The real life you could only experience in English speaking countries, right? So that is why I always imagine what it would be like. I mean, learning something at school in an English-speaking country is like. I always imagine what it is like. So that is why when I listen to his lessons, it makes me feel so happy. That is why I love his lessons so much. And there are tons of things that we could learn from his lessons. But since it's very long, he puts great effort into his video, and I respect him about that. But still, you need to be very passionate and patient to keep watching his video to the end, because there are tons of things. Each video has tons of things in it. So that is why I'm not really sure if so many people are interested in his videos. In a sense, I mean, he has so many subscribers now, nearly 8,000 or so for the last 2 months in such a short time, and his videos are very interesting. Of course, yeah, I understand that. Still, not so many people are wanting to learn something difficult. I mean, some people only wish they could speak English, right? And some people might not understand the importance of learning the meanings of or usages of such vocabulary deeply. But if you want to be a native level, you have to go through such things. Yeah, I'm sure. Because if you only listen to or practice conversational English, it can be difficult for you to expand your vocabulary and to make your English sound a bit more fancy. I'm not an advocate of something fancy or, I don't know, erudite or something like that. I've learned this word before, but I seldom use this word. I seldom have the opportunity to use this word, but erudite, okay. It's one of the fancy words, right? I think so. When I was studying English back in 2023, which is last year, I started studying English for the test. Okay, for the test. It is a very famous English test that Japanese people take, and to evaluate your English ability. But I stopped studying for the test entirely because I wanted to improve my spoken English. This time around, I was really serious. But as usual, what I started to do was to study for the test. And the test or grade I was aiming to take was the highest grade, which is the most difficult one. And I've taken the grade several times before, and there are two or three times that I have passed the written test, the first round written test. And there is another test after the first test. If you pass the first test, you're going to take the second round speaking test. And it's an interview test. And the interview test goes like this. If you are given 2 or 3 or 4, I don't know, several options for the topic. you're going to make a speech for. You can choose from one topic among the 4 or 5 other topics, and you are given just 1 minute preparation time, and after the preparation time ends, you have to make a speech. Okay, so in order to pass this test, you have to be fluent and you have to be very good at speaking, right? And in order to do that, you have to practice giving a speech many times beforehand. And in order to be well prepared for the speech test, you have to write a lot. So when you prepare for the first round written test, you have to also prepare for your essay. Okay, there's an essay part for the first round written test. So by the time you take the second round speaking test, you must be pretty good at writing essays in English. Okay, like the second round speaking test, you are given the topic, 2 or 3 topics, and you can choose one from them, and you can write an essay, and some keywords are also given to use for the essay, and you can use all or some. Probably there are 5 or 6 keywords there, and you can choose you have to choose at least 3 of them. Okay, and in a limited time, with a limited time, I don't know how to say this, with a limited amount of time, you have to finish writing an essay. Okay, and you have also other questions like vocabulary section, and the reading part is the most difficult one, I guess, because you have to read a pretty long story or article from newspaper or magazines. Okay, and with so many fancy words in it, very difficult vocabulary in it, and you have to read all those stories very rapidly, very fast, quickly. And not only that, maybe you don't have enough time to read the story more than 2 or 3 times, because after reading the story, you have to read each question. There comes about 4 or 5 questions for each story, and there are 4 or 5, okay, 3 is not enough, 4 or 5 such stories in the written test. So you have to read each story very quickly, and you have to understand the meaning of the story as you read. So it requires a lot of skill, right? So that is why, to prepare for the test, the highest grade, to prepare for the test, you really need to improve your English to the highest level. But this doesn't mean that you are very good at speaking. And there is a big gap between if you pass this test, the first grade, and first round written test, okay, and the other is you are pretty good at conversational speaking, okay. And there is a big gap between these two, and I have been there. This is something that I have felt myself, because I have been there. I've been there and I've done that. So that is why, even though I have passed the first round written test 2 or 3 times in my life, but I've never even taken the second round speaking test. I always let it go. I had the opportunity to take the second round test for the next year. I mean, let's see, let's say if I passed the test, first round test, right? Now, and a month later, I'm going to take the second round speech test, okay? Interview test. But if you don't think that you are prepared enough, you can just skip it. And for the next test, which comes out after this test, about 3 months after, okay, the test I don't know, happens or comes, or they have this test 3 times in a year. Okay, the first time spring, and the second time autumn, and the third time around January. You have 3 chances to take this test, okay? And if you pass the written test in spring, you have to take the second test, right? Second speaking test a month later, right? But if you are not prepared enough, you are not sure that you are going to take the test and you are going to pass the test, then you can just skip it. But you are eligible for the second test for the entire year or 2 more times, okay? But I always skipped everything, meaning that I was not even thinking about taking the second interview test because my English was not good enough. I was not confident at all. Why? Because I didn't practice speaking at all. From time to time, some points in my life, some seasons in my life, ever since I started studying English, I had some opportunities to talk to people in English, or to go to an English school, or somewhere that I was able to speak with people in English, but I was not serious enough to train my speaking skills in my life. I wasn't serious enough, because I didn't have any particular purpose in which I would use English in the first place. So it didn't make me serious enough. So that is why I've never practiced my speaking this hard like I'm doing now. But I'm determined this time around because like people from other countries, English is their second language, and people learn English to get a good job, right? Because in their country they cannot find good jobs. But if they learn English, they can get a much better job with much money. They can earn much more money if they are good at English, like people from Philippines, right? I understand how they feel now because to some extent, I'm in the similar situation now. I'm not working now, and I don't have a job. I used to sell T-shirts on the internet. I imported American T-shirts from the USA and sold them on my web shop. And I started the job just after I started selling Japanese goods on eBay. And at that time, I found this particular T-shirt, which was being sold in the U.S. The picture of Popeye, the animation from old time, was printed on it, and it sold like hotcakes. Okay, and I saw them in Japan. Okay, and why was it so popular? Because Michael Jackson was wearing exactly the same design of T-shirt in one of his DVDs. And I happened to find this information from somewhere, somehow. I don't know when I found this information now, though, but I found this information from somewhere, and at that time, I was selling goods, Japanese goods on eBay, so it was pretty easy for me to look for things on eBay myself. And I was using my English to communicate with my customers, only through messages though. I never used my spoken language to communicate with people on eBay though, okay? And I found that T-shirt and I decided to buy at first like as many as 5, as many as 10 from a particular seller, and because there weren't many people who were selling that kind of T-shirt on eBay. And I got to know this particular provider. That provider is not just a person, but it's a company which sells T-shirts there in the US. But since they had their website, so they were able to sell their products to all over the world, of course. And I decided to contact them directly, person to person, and I decided to get that particular T-shirts from them. And because they were pretty reliable to me, because they are a company, so I decided to contact with them, and that's how I started selling T-shirts I bought from the US on my website. And I was doing this job for about, let's see, how many years? I didn't count, so I haven't counted, so I don't know. But for such a long time, ever since I found that T-shirt with Popeye printed on it back in 2008, because that was the year when Michael Jackson passed away suddenly, right? And everything related to Michael Jackson sold like hotcakes, like books, magazines, or anything. And in those days, there weren't many places that were selling such items in Japan. So the only way that they could do, ordinary people, the only way that the ordinary people could get such items was to import directly from the US. Okay, but not many people were happy about buying goods from the US or in foreign countries, from foreign countries, because of their language barrier. So that is why I was advantageous enough to do the job for people, okay? And at that time, that was the first time that I realized that my efforts to study English finally paid off, okay? And where was I? Yeah, I was selling. Yeah, that is why. Until last year, I was selling T-shirts on my web shop, but I closed the shop entirely last year. For many years since then, I was always thinking about closing my shops, but I couldn't decide when exactly. I was just procrastinating, okay? But last year, I decided to close the shop entirely, and ever since then, I have been out of job or out of work, in a sense. And and I'm I don't know, counting on my savings, okay? My savings, thanks to my father, okay? You know what I mean? Okay, but it doesn't mean that it'll last forever, right? And I began to worry about my future a little while ago. But now I think that thinking or worrying about your future too much isn't very good for you, because spending your energy on thinking about what is not happening right now is not very constructive or very effective. It's a waste of time, because it's not happening right now, right? And you even don't know if it happens in the future or not, right? So all you need to do is focus on what's happening right now and try to follow your passion. That's what I believe right now. And I'm not worried about my future very much now, because somehow I can believe that I will be okay. I don't know why. I just feel this way, and I try to follow my hunch or gut feeling or passion rather than worrying about my future too much. And I feel that I will be okay somehow. Okay. And where was I? And I was talking about the test, right? But I've never taken the second round test, right? And because I've never been this serious about improving my speaking skills. And why am I so serious about my improving my speaking? Because like people from other countries who desperately try to improve their English to get a better job, I think that I'm a similar situation now, because I'm out of job, literally, right? Literally, right? This is the word that is pretty difficult for me to pronounce, because it has L and R in one word, right? Literally, right? Literally, right? Okay, anyway, so that is why I'm kind of desperate in a good way, because I've never been this serious in my life. I was not motivated enough. But because I'm out of job now and I don't know what to do in the future, but I have this hunch that English helps me a lot in any way. And I was practicing using one of the exercises I found from the Connor's videos. Okay, it's a video for particularly specifically for practicing your speaking, and he has 10 exercises in the video, and I've done only 2 at the moment because I tend to spend lots of time on just one exercise. All I do is just listen to, just watch the video or the part in which he deals with the problem, the question, the exercise, okay? And I only try to watch that section first, okay? Because I watched the entire video at first, but since it's a pretty long video, which lasts for about an hour, I need to focus on only the section where I want to do, or that I want to do. And so first I watch the section, and I try to dictate all the things that he says in the section, okay, all English sentences, to examine the way he speaks, okay? And he has this template so that we could use when we make a speech or when we respond to the exercise, okay, each exercise. Meaning that if the video has 10 exercises, he has 10 templates for each exercise, okay? And each exercise has each topic to talk about. And so I decided to do this because I've always wanted to do this kind of practice, but I didn't know how myself. I was just as I said, I was just procrastinating. I was just lazy because I really need to work hard, and I knew that I would need to work hard to do this kind of practice, because just talking randomly like this is much easier in a sense, because you can just pick up some subjects that you want to talk about, and you have to be organized to talk about something specifically. And I totally lost the train of thought, okay? I lost my train of thought, okay? In a sense, just talking about anything like this can be easier than talking about some specific thing in a short amount of time, because you have to be concise and you have to be, terse, compact, concentrated, okay? It needs skill, right? It needs certain skills, right? So that is why I found it pretty troublesome and difficult. So that is why I've been procrastinating. But since his exercises are in front of me, why not I try them, right? To improve my speaking skills. And I've done 2 exercises so far. The first question was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? This is a kind of topic that I often hear here and there, okay? But I've never even tried this kind of question, or I've never even asked myself this kind of thing myself. So that was a very good opportunity for myself. And when I was trying the first question, the second one was that one I did yesterday, though. The title is, the question was, or topic was, what's that? what's something that's been on your mind recently? Okay, and talking about the first topic, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And as soon as I started working on the exercise or my speech, I realized that I wanted to be a YouTuber, language teaching YouTuber myself, and I even didn't expect myself to talk about that. Okay, to say I never even expected myself to say something like that. Until then, vaguely, somewhere in my mind, I was thinking about becoming a language teaching instructor on YouTube or language teaching YouTuber. But when I said in the speech, impromptly, was that I want to be not only just an language teaching YouTuber, but also trilingual language teaching YouTuber, because my native tongue is Japanese, right? And I'm desperately trying to improve my speaking at the moment, right? To the advanced level. And I've been learning Spanish on and off in my life. And now I feel passionate about improving my Spanish at the moment. And I feel that I'm the most passionate about Spanish now. Because the more I study English, somehow the more I want to improve my Spanish somehow. Probably because the more I learn the languages, the more fun my language learning is becoming. So that is why it's very, it's hard work. It's hard work, but at the same time, it's really interesting, and at the same time, it's really rewarding, because the more you do it, the better you can get at it. And it's very simple, because you have acquired your mother tongue already, right? You can do it. You are eligible enough. But your foreign languages are not getting better enough, just because you don't do enough exercise. Your practice is not enough. That is why it's very simple. It's not about studying for the test, okay, and knowing lots of vocabulary. Partly it is something to do with it, because the more vocabulary you know, it helps more, right? I'm not saying that studying for the tests or trying to expand your vocabulary, trying to learn more fancy words. How did I start this sentence in the first place? I cannot say that all the things are totally worthless. No, I don't think so. It's worth trying. Yeah, of course. But when it comes to becoming a decent speaker, all you need to do is practicing speaking. And if you think that you are not a decent speaker, or you are not a good speaker, you are not as good a speaker as you want to be, that's because you haven't done enough practice. That's all. And I'm talking to myself. Okay, I'm saying this to myself also because this is something that I didn't know before. I always wondered how I should do, what I should do, okay, what I should do to become a decent speaker. I had totally no idea what to do. And I also guess that so many people are desperately trying to find the answer to this question, but it's very simple. You need to practice more, right? Until you feel that your target language is becoming your second nature, and it can become your second nature the more often you use it, right? Yeah, that's true. That's true. And when I started realizing this, my learning journey has been becoming easier and easier and more fun. Okay. And where was I? Yeah, I haven't even taken this second round speaking test, right? That's because I was not confident enough. I even didn't know what speaking English is all about. I mean, what I meant by speaking English was that person who can improvise, okay, like something that I'm doing right now. I've never thought in the past that I could do such a thing myself, and I didn't know how, okay, but I still don't know how. The important thing for you to do to become a decent speaker of your target language is that you need to have as many sentences or as many expressions or as many chunks or set phrases that you can use on the spot right away, instantly, no matter where you are, okay? And in order to do that, you have to practice them so many times. And I found this YouTuber who is a Japanese guy. He is probably in his early 30s now, I guess. He started studying English 3 years ago. Okay, just 3 years ago. But now he's fluent. He's a fluent speaker. He has a YouTube channel which is very, very popular. And I happened to find his channel probably sometime last year for the first time. And but I didn't pay much attention to his channel because at that time I didn't find his channel very useful to me somehow, okay? No offense, but okay. But the other day, I happened to find his one of his or a few of his videos again, and tried to watch it again. And I was so impressed because he's a hard worker, and he's unusual because he just did lots of practice to become as good English speaker now as he is now. And what he did was every time we want to improve our conversational language, we try to refer to some textbooks with lots of sentences or expressions or phrases that we can use when we talk with people, right? When we ask something when we ask someone about something, right? And normally we probably read each sentence like 10 times at most, right? And then move on to the next one, right? And he says that that's totally not enough. And he says that we should read each sentence at least 100 times, but not just repeating the same sentence 100 times, but he says that we should be emotional when we read each sentence or phrases, as if it was happening in front of us. Okay. Why? Because we can memorize things clearly or deeply when our emotions, I don't know, when we feel emotions, okay. So if you are just trying to repeat the same sentence 100 times without feeling anything, you cannot memorize it in a deep sense. But if you read those sentences with your emotion, then you can get the feel for the expressions, and you won't forget such expressions. And he's saying something really important, and I decided to do the same when I'm trying to read English, or even my Spanish is much younger than my English, so I'm trying to do this method to improve my speaking. So every time I try to read some English Spanish sentences myself, then I try to be emotional, imagining the situation happening at the right moment, at this right moment. And I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to watch his video just a few days ago. I was so fortunate. And so that is why, where was I? Yeah. And I think that the people who want to improve their spoken language try not to memorize as many expressions as possible, but instead they should focus on expressions or words, expressions, phrases, or everything, set phrases or idioms, everything that are already inside themselves already. So many things are already inside themselves, but they only repeat them several times or so far, tops, right? And they are not internalized yet. All you need to do is make those passive vocabulary active vocabulary. And in order to do that, you have to repeat them many times and with emotion, and you have to learn how to use them in the first place. Even though you have a great tools, if you don't know how to use it, it's nonsense, right? It's total waste, right? So but many people think that they are good at English because they studied English at school for such a long time, and they think that they have learned so many words, but that's not totally true. Those words and expressions are just their passive vocabulary, and they even don't know how to use them, and they even have never used them in their lives, right? So it's totally natural for them not to be able to use English as a living language, because for them it's very academic, right? It's just academic, and even myself, last year I tried to expand my vocabulary because I wanted to take the first grade of that test, which is the most difficult one. And this time I really wanted to pass the second round test. And what was I doing? I was just trying to expand my vocabulary, and I used this textbook designed particularly for the grade, I mean the most difficult grade, and so many very difficult academic words are in it, and there are thousands of words, okay, that you might come across when you read something difficult like newspaper, magazines, or novels, okay, yeah, right, Time magazines or something like that, okay, yeah, you need to know those words if you want to pass the test, particularly for the test which is called step test, first grade. If you don't know such words, and those words can be, it's okay for those words be your passive vocabulary, because those words are not there to be used in spoken language, and they are there to be understood in writing. So that is why, okay. But if you want to be eligible enough to pass the test, especially the first grade, you need to know all those words anyway, because the test is something that tests your knowledge, okay? So that is why I was totally into memorizing all those fancy words, academic words. And it actually made me feel like I was a better English speaker, but I was totally wrong, because I didn't practice speaking English at all. So that is why I started talking like this on my channel. I started my channel, Language-Enthusiast, back then, and I kept practicing my speaking for about 103 days. And 103rd day, at my 103rd day, I quit, okay, because I didn't feel that my English was getting any better. I was discouraged, and I didn't want to do it anymore, so I gave it up. And for the next 6 months, I didn't do anything. All I was doing was that I was just studying Spanish in English. And this spring, this year, the last spring, I realized that somehow my English improved somehow. I don't know why, but yeah, I wasn't desperate back then while I wasn't doing anything about my English. I was feeling relaxed, right? So that was good for my brain. And even though I wasn't doing anything, but my brain kept working, and I guess my brain was organizing information that I had accumulated for the 103 days, I guess. And okay, so that is why feeling relaxed is the key to improve your skills. because you are under stress and you force yourself to do something, your brain is also stressed out, right? And you cannot make it work as effectively as you wish. And so that is why the most important thing is to enjoy the process, because no matter how desperate you are, you can be, you cannot make things better. Then why not feel relaxed and enjoy the process? Because you only can do whatever you like because it's fun, right? It's not something that you should do or you must do, right? You do it because you love it, right? So then why not enjoy it? And I'm not thinking about taking the test at the moment because I really enjoy the language learning itself. This process is very interesting to me. How we can improve our foreign languages, it's a mystery, right? It's mystery. And there are so many things that we don't know because we've never been there yet. So like a small child, they can be at first they can be not a very good speaker, or they have very limited knowledge of the language, right? But as they grow, they can be a much better speaker. They can be a much better, I don't know, reader or writer, right? I'm very interested in this process itself. What makes them grow, how they grew, or something like that. And it's very, very interesting. So that is why when I was making a speech for the exercise one from the Connor's video, I was quite surprised to hear myself say that in 5 years I will be a trilingual language teaching instructor myself. That was a big surprise to me, and this shows how much I'm interested in language learning myself. Okay, I didn't mean to talk about this today. I meant to talk about my daughter at first. Okay, even though I was sleepy just before I started videotaping myself like this, I was sleepy and I tried to take a short nap, but I couldn't sleep because I was a bit tense. I was too excited. Okay, thinking about my today's speaking practice, and I really wanted to finish this by the time my daughter wakes up, okay? And she wakes up pretty late. She's a night owl. She has been a night owl these days, and I'm becoming more and more of an morning person now. So our lifestyles are totally opposite. Okay, I'm a morning person and she's a night person, and she's an artist. So I think it's okay. And yeah, as long as she does what she has to do, and it's none of my business, right? She's independent. She's old enough to think about her life, right? So, but the problem is that I can be a bit self-conscious speaking English, especially in front of her. So that is why I really wanted to finish my practice before she wakes up. And she's still asleep, or I don't know what she's doing in her room right now, but she's still in her room. And what time is it now? It's almost 1:30, right? And my clock is 15 minutes fast. Okay, all of my clocks in this living room, I have two clocks, wall clocks. Okay, on the wall, I have two clocks, and they are 15 minutes fast because I tend to be late. Okay, I'm a person who tends to be late, so I always want to think ahead. I always want to think ahead. Okay, that is why. And since she's still in her room, that is why I feel relaxed. If she's coming down from the third floor, and as soon as I hear the sound, I feel tense. Not because she makes me nervous. No, just speaking in front of her makes me nervous. And just because I'm a bit self-conscious. And this might be something that I will have to overcome in the near future though. And at the same time, I kind of feel that, no offense, but she doesn't like me speaking English or improving my English. And I'm not really sure because I haven't asked her about this. But I feel this way probably because I have some attachment issues myself. And I think that she has also some attachment issues. I don't know which attachment issues are more serious or not. I don't know. But since she was raised by me, right, and who has some attachment issues, no wonder she has some attachment issues herself. And in such a case, it's no wonder that she doesn't like me speaking English. I cannot explain this, but she's a person who feels jealous very easily, and I feel the same way from time to time, but I somehow strongly feel that she's that kind of person. And no offense, I'm not trying to say something bad about her. Okay, she's my daughter. If I say something bad about her, it's like I'm saying something bad about myself, right? I don't want to say something bad about everyone. Okay, and yeah, she when I talk about someone else, or like her favorite YouTube channel or something like that, she doesn't like it very much. I can sense that, whether or not if it's true or not. Okay, it's just my imagination. Okay, I tend to take it too seriously, or I tend to react too much. Yeah, maybe, but and she says that she has once said that I seldom I don't know, praise her. I seldom says good things about her. That's what she feels, and that's probably because my mother did the same. She never praised me. She always, most of the time, she always did something to bring me down, which makes me have a very low self-esteem. And here, I'm not saying that my mother is the culprit or something. No, I'm not talking about such a thing now. I'm just saying that it runs in a family. It runs in that family. I don't know which, but because my mother probably had some attachment issues or low self-esteem issues or something like that, and she brought up me, and I raised my daughter. But I noticed that I have some issues, and now I'm aware of this, it's much helpful. I mean, in terms of a relationship between my daughter and me. But somehow, I feel that she was not very happy, 100% happy about my English thing. Okay. I don't know why, but I just feel that way. I'll have a kind of a heart-to-heart talk with her. Maybe it's better someday. Yeah. Because I want to, I always wish her happiness. And I try not to bring her down on purpose. But unconsciously, I'm not sure, because you never know your unconsciousness thinks about, right? It makes you move, right? Your unconsciousness makes you move. Your consciousness, this is very tiny part of the, like, it's a tip of the iceberg, right? This tip of an iceberg, and you most of the time you don't realize this huge part, right? But this part is the one actually tries to move you, right? But you never realize that, right? So but the more I get to know about such a thing, the more interesting I find it. I find my life. So that is why I don't want to stop learning. Okay, how long? Okay, I've been talking longer than 1 hour. So it's time for me to go now. It's time to sign off. Okay. Okay, thank you for listening. If you are there, I'm sorry that this video is not for you to enjoy. Yeah, I know that. But if you watch this video and you find it interesting somehow, I'd be really happy. Thank you very much, and I really hope that I'll talk to you soon again, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Yeah, maybe. And I really hope that you have a wonderful, lovely new week, right? Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.